Lookalike audiences on Facebook are groups of users who share similarities with your existing customers or audience. Facebook analyzes the characteristics and behaviors of your current audience, such as demographics, interests, and online activities, and then identifies other users who closely resemble them. This allows you to target your ads at new people who are more likely to become customers based on the traits they share with your already existing customer list. In this video, we'll cover different ways to give Facebook what it needs in order to create a lookalike audience for your business.
So now we have to give Facebook a source to use for our lookalike audience. Facebook gives us a few options to choose from in creating our source audience, which is going to be a custom audience. So we're going to click here on Create New Source. Don't worry about this custom audience with customer value. We're going to leave that for now. Just come in here and click on Custom Audience. So as you can see, there's definitely more than one way to create a custom audience from different sources. My favorite, and the one that I'm going to be going over in this video, is going to be using a customer list. And that's where we are just going to upload a list of current customers or previous customers. We're going to upload a list of their email addresses, and then we are going to allow Facebook to map up as many of those emails as they can with current active Facebook accounts that have similar behaviors and interests in order for Facebook to then match up a lookalike audience to that same source audience. So here we're going to choose customer list and we're going to click on next. Now, if you don't have a list of emails that you can upload, at the end of this video, I'm going to come back to this page and we're going to go through a couple of these other options that you might be able to use instead of using your customer list. But honestly, just using the local targeting should be fine. But let's go ahead and set up a customer list. So we're going to click next. So the main thing to take away from this page here is right here where it says include at least one main identifier. We want to use email or phone number. My preferred method is usually email. You can definitely use both, but email just typically tends to be the one that more people have an email list of their previous customers. If you've got your phone number too, you can upload both. But the reason I like picking one over the other, I'm going to show you on the next page. This page, you don't have to choose anything. It's just showing you all the different possible things you can upload. Don't overcomplicate it. Just get a list of their emails or phone numbers, whichever you prefer. You're going to upload them the same way. So click next here. So we're going to be able to upload this as either a CSV or a TXT file. You can see right here. So for a CSV, we would want to use something like a Excel file. So I've got that right here. So you can see I've got a header right here at the top that just says email. And then if you go through here, you can see I've got a few hundred email addresses that I want to upload. You could do the same thing with, instead of a CSV file, you could do a TXT file, which most commonly would be just a notepad file if you're using a Windows computer. So same thing, it's just a list of each email separated by the next row. You should easily be able to export this in either format from your CRM system. If you've got one, more likely it's going to come in a CSV, but a TXT works as well. But my favorite way to do it is, instead of uploading the file, if you just come here to paste comma separated values, you can literally just go into, I'm just going to go into my CSV file, open it here. I'm just going to scroll through and copy all these emails. I think I've got like 500. Yeah, about 500. Just going to copy. Then I'm going to come back to the audiences section here, and I'm just going to paste these in here. Just like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and name the audience. We can call this customers. If you want to, you can add a description. You don't have to. I'll just put to be used for lookalike audiences, and then we click next. So you'll see here, the email column was mapped. So we got a little check box there. That was the only column we included because we were copying and pasting it in. So this action needed shows 0, so that's great. So now we're just going to click on import and create. Boom, there we go. Your customer list is hashed and uploaded. So you see here it says, it may take a few minutes for us to finish matching your customers to people on Facebook. You can check the status in Audience Manager. So from here, you can come in and just click here on Create a Lookalike Audience if you want, or you can just click Done, we've got this, the one we just created right here. You see customers, and it even has the description underneath to be used for lookalike audiences. You can see it's not ready to be used yet. It still says populating for availability. However, we can go in and just create the lookalike audience now that we've got it uploaded. Even though the lookalike audience won't be ready to be used for probably about a day because we have to populate that custom audience, we can still set up our lookalike audience now. So we're going to go in, we're going to do what we were about to do before and just click again on create audience, lookalike audience, and now that we have a source uploaded, we're just going to click in here and we're going to go to other sources. And if we come through here, you'll see a list of all the possible sources you can use. I have a lot in here because I've managed more than one account in here, but I know I've got this customers one that we just uploaded. So we're going to use that for the audience location. At this level, when you're creating the lookalike audience, the most you can narrow it down to is a country. So I know if you're a local audience, you're not trying to show everything to the entire country, but we will define the audience location more once we actually set up the ad. So for now, we just want this to be the country that you're in. So for us, it's going to be United States. And we can see down here that we've got about 2.8 million people in the United States that match up to a 1% of our customers' audience. Now, if we drag this here from 1% to 2% to 3%, what that does is it's going to make our lookalike audience bigger. You can see how it went from about 2.8 all the way up to 8.3 million people. But what this is doing is you're changing how much this lookalike audience relates to your original custom audience. So for this, I would normally leave this at either 1 or 2%. It's up to you, depending on how small of an area you're in. You might want to bump it up to 2%, but I'm going to leave it at 1%. And you can play around with both if you want to. So we're going to leave it at 1%, and then just go ahead and create audience. New audience will pop up right here, and we can see it's not quite ready for use yet. It still says over here populating. So give this a few hours, maybe a day, and then this populating right here will change to be ready like these other ones are. That is it. Congratulations, guys. You've created your first lookalike audience. But now remember, at the beginning of the video, I said I was going to show you some other methods to use if you don't have an email list of customers to use. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So let's go back over to create audience, create lookalike audience, and create new source. I'm going to go back to custom audience again. So here, let's pretend you don't have an email list to use. Maybe you don't have a CRM that keeps track of that. That's a discussion for another video because you definitely do want to have one of those. But here, let's see some of the other options that we could use. So let's say the first source we wanted to check out would be maybe your website. So create an audience based on website visitors from your metapixel. So in order to do this, and we'd have to make a whole nother video on this, but you just have to create a pixel and install it on your website. Now, I'll tell you that this doesn't work as well as it used to because of some of the limitations that the phone companies like Apple have put on tracking people's information. So it still works, but it definitely doesn't work as good as it used to. Some of the other ones you could try would be lead form. Since we are going to be creating a lead form campaign, this is definitely something that you could use. And it says create an audience of people who opened or completed a form in one of your lead generation ads. So that's exactly what people are going to be doing for these ads we're creating. So once we get, for a lookalike audience, you really want to have at least a few hundred people for Facebook to be able to look at it. So once you have a few hundred contacts generated, you could come in here, choose lead form, and then it would allow you to create a lookalike audience based on people that have already filled out your lead form. So that'd be a great one to try out if you don't already have a customer list, or even if you do already have a customer list and you just want to play around with more audiences, that'd be a really good one to use as well. The last one we'll check out is going to be a Facebook page. You can create an audience of people who follow or interacted with your page. So this, obviously, if it's a brand new page and you don't really have anybody following it yet, then this one's not going to be super helpful. But if you do have a Facebook page that has a few hundred followers, then this would be one that you could use as well. So in this example, let's just use Facebook page. I'm going to click on next. And then you can see here, you'll have a drop down that allows you to pick which page you're choosing from. I'll leave this. This is the page I use for a lot of our restaurant accounts that run ads through us, called Your Local Foodies. And you can see I can match it up with certain events. So maybe people who engage with the page, currently like or follow the page, engage with a post or an ad, clicked on any call to action button. I would say the best one to go with for this one is probably people who currently like or follow your page. If someone saw your page and decided to follow it, they're probably a fan of your food. And then you could just name this audience whatever you want. Let's go ahead and call it, we'll just call it Facebook followers. The description, we can just put people who follow our Facebook page, and then go ahead and click on create audience. So just like before when we uploaded the list of customers, got the same screen here, your custom audience was created. So now it's the exact same steps as before to create a lookalike audience. You can just click here. It's automatically going to use the source that you just made, and then you can go do the exact same thing as before. Change this location to United States. Got similar, about 2.8 million people. I'm going to leave it at 1%. Again, if you want to toggle this over to 2, you can, but I like leaving it at just 1. And then click on create audience, and boom. Now we've got another lookalike audience that we can use. So that's what you can do if you don't have an email list of customers that you can upload. You can do something with your Facebook followers. You can do something with website visitors if you've got the Pixel installed. And that's another good way to create a lookalike audience if you don't have that customer list. But again, my favorite to do is a customer list. I think it's really easy to upload it, especially when you can just copy and paste that. And then, yeah, Facebook will let you start using that audience. Normally it takes about a day for it to populate. So, all right, guys, in the next video, we're going to see, now that we have audiences built out, we are going to create some ads. So I will see you in the next video.